Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Thursday, August 14, 2025. It's the Independence Day of Pakistan. Happy Independence Day if there is a Pakistani listener. And I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Ward Ahmed, and we've got a packed show for you today. First up, ADQ-Backed Etihad Rail is in talks with Kenya to expand their cargo operations. Secondly, Kingdom Holding, chaired by Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, has reported sharp Q2 profit decline, and Lulu Hypermarket's half-year earnings rise as online sales surge. And finally, we're going to discuss a new startup in the air. Dubai's Coraly.ai has raised $2 million to expand GCC and global reach.
And the very first story today is backed by ADQ, one of the sovereign wealth funds. Kenya is negotiating with ADQ-backed Etihad Rail. We all know Etihad Rail has been in the works for a long time. We all know the stories that Abu Dhabi to Dubai time will be half an hour or 1 hour maximum. But it's also a freight service where you can move stuff from one place to another. And ADQ-backed Etihad Rail has been asked by Kenya to manage freight on its $5 billion standard gauge railway, which links the port city of Mombasa to Naivasha via Nairobi. Built by China, the railway was designed to strengthen regional trade and economic integration across East Africa.
So, Transport Secretary Davis Churcher told Bloomberg that the railway would require at least 17 million tons of freight annually to make the deal commercially viable. Now, he added that Kenya's government plans to extend the network to South Sudan, Ethiopia, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo in the coming years.
And ADQ, the Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund, supports Etihad Rail, which is exploring this international expansion as part of its strategy to operate beyond the UAE. Discussions include transporting roughly 3 million tons of crude oil each year from northern Kenyan oil fields via rail.
Such shipments are seen as critical to building a commercial case for Etihad Rail's investment. The company is already operating a 1,200-kilometer freight network within the UAE and plans to launch passenger services next year, connecting multiple cities across the Emirates.
And Etihad Rail is also pursuing international projects, including a $2.3 billion railway in Jordan and a cross-border link connecting the UAE to Oman. These efforts underline the company's broader ambition to expand its freight and passenger operations across the region.
Look, honestly, with this, entire deal, I find that it is beneficial for both people here. It's such a symbiotic relationship is what I would call it, because, you have Kenya, they want to expand their railway system that they built with China. They need $4 billion for that, I believe. And, who else other than ADQ would have that money? But not just that. I think that we need to point out that the UAE, it has come out that they are the largest foreign investor in Africa. I believe that they have over $60 billion in investments in Africa. And there are, according to the UAE's government, there are over 20,000 African companies, I believe, that are stationed here in the UAE. So, this entire project, it is very meaningful in the sense of that, if Etihad Rail does get access to these networks, what would happen here is that it would just make everything logistically easier for UAE companies that are trying to operate in Africa.
And it's very important that Etihad Rail doesn't stay in UAE because it's such a large network that they're building.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and there's two parts of it. We always get confused. Trying to become a part of it is a good sign that African countries, North African countries, because we call it the MENA region at the end of the
transport things to actually get your business moving. It might be something that we overlook.
Which are losing money, and that's Saudi conglomerate Kingdom Holding Company, owned by Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, the guy behind who is trying to build the biggest building after Burj Khalifa, the 1 kilometer Jeddah Tower. And he's reported the company has reported a significant profit drop in the second quarter of 2025. Earnings fell 35% to Saudi Riyal 405 million for the quarter ended June 30, down from 624 million a year earlier, driven by lower dividend income and higher operating costs.
So revenue for the quarter also declined 4% year on year. to 623 million riyals, and now have rose 12% annually to 1.4 billion riyals, boosted by higher dividend income and lower operating expenses. Now, the company's bottom line increased slightly by 2% to 836 million riyals in the first 6 months of 2025.
And Kingdom Holding holds a 27% stake in the newly listed Flynas airline. And to be honest, Flynas is also not doing it on the stock market. The company's broad global investment portfolio includes stake in Elon Musk's social media platform X, which was recently eaten up by XAI. So now they hold basically stake in X and XAI both. US ride-hailing app Lyft, they recently announced their earnings. Their earnings were down as well, so they're losing money because of all those investments as well. And luxury hotel groups, including Four Seasons, Rotana Group, and Fairmont Raffles Swiss Hotel.
So past investments have also included Amazon, Apple, Citigroup, Coca-Cola, Euro Disney, News Corporation, and Pepsi. CEO Talal Ibrahim Al Mayman previously indicated interest in investing in ByteDance's TikTok if offered for sale by Elon Musk or other owners.
And Kingdom Holding Company shares closed 1% lower at 7.81 Saudi Riyals on Monday, but have gained 9% since the start of the year. Prince Al Walid remains the majority shareholder, holding 78% stake in the company.
But who actually owns the other stake? It's PIF. It's Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, I believe, in 2019. So basically, a few years after the entire Ritz-Carlton situation, what basically happened is they purchased a stake that is above 15% in Kingdom Holding, and that stake, I believe, was valued at $1.5 billion. So I think that there is definitely a link between this decline in their profits and the fact that, PIF does have a major share in it, because of the fact that we know that right now, the public investment company is carrying out a lot of projects in the kingdom that will genuinely determine its future, will determine if they actually achieve their Vision 2030 goals. They need that funding. They do, to complete NEOM, which is a $500 billion project. But let's just get into Al Walid bin Talal and further discuss his investments. Honestly, I really love him. This man, no, seriously.
He is a genius, trust me.
You know what, Majid? Sometimes it's not even genius. It's just keeping up with the times. I hate to point this out. I know that old people don't like discussing age, but guys, this is a man who I believe right now is 70, and he keeps up with the times. And I'll tell you how. I was watching his interview with Tucker Carlson, and he was saying how, a while ago, he was investing into Fox. And Fox is obviously run by the Murdoch family, the Murdoch empire. And he was saying how, he notices how media sentiment is changing. He noticed people are not watching Fox that much anymore. So what does he do? He divests from Fox, and then he goes and he invests in X. And the story of X really is, when Elon Musk came to purchase it, when it was Twitter, what happened was Prince Al Walid bin Talal, I believe he was told to sell out, but he didn't. He hopped in a call and he's like, Musk, listen, I'm hanging out with you. We're going to hang on to this. And now he's the second largest shareholder in X. And what's the reason for that? He keeps up with the times. He said it himself. He believes that X is where people get their news from. And I think that, Majid, I don't think this is genius. I think that this is somebody who, after all these years, he is able to read the room. Not everyone can read the room. That is why he's such a good investor. He can tell young people love X. People are an X. People love free speech. And I think for me, when I take a look at all of his investments, he is involved with all of these Americans, by the way. All of these Americans, he's involved with them, and especially Donald Trump. In the 90s, what essentially happened, I think in 1991, when Trump was going through bankruptcy, he bought his Princess yacht. And then 4 years later, once again, Trump was in trouble. So Prince Al Walid bin Talal teamed up with a bunch of investors, and they bought the Crown Plaza Hotel that belonged to Trump for over $380 million. So he does. And it's not just Trump. He's also involved with Bill Gates. So just to make this more specific, essentially what happened is Kingdom Holding Company launched an offer in 2006 to make Four Seasons private in partnership with Cascade. It's an investment company that is controlled by Bill Gates.
Yes.
And Triple Holdings, the actual investment vehicle for Isidore Sharp, which was the original founder of Four Seasons. And what essentially happened is the transaction was finally completed in 2010, Majid, and it basically left Prince Al Walid bin Talal's Kingdom Holding Company and Cascade Holding each with a 47% stake in Four
Nice.
Seasons hotels. So this is what I'm saying. This is why this man impresses me so much. He knows how to hang out with the right people.
Yeah.
He knows how to hang out with the right people. He knows which investments specifically to pick out. And I think it's almost like picking out the news. You just know what people care about. And he knows what people care about. And you have to give it to him because a lot of people don't. A lot of old people don't.
Yeah.
No offense.
Keeping up with times is very important. Worth is completely right. And I have just one example which I saw and I loved him was when he predicted PIF. When Jeddah Tower ground was broken, he was like, we should have a public investment fund, we should have a sovereign wealth fund like everyone else has in the world. And I was like, this man predicted this 10 years ago, and now PIF is a $1.2 trillion giant. Recently, we will do a story, you'll see it on socials today, that PIF's yearly earnings have a little fell down. Their profits are up, but their assets under management are giving them now a 7% ROI. They were giving them an 8.69% ROI till last year. This year, their ROI is down a
What do
little.
you think this is a result of?
It's just global markets, wherever they're invested. Like I was
Right.
talking about KHC, Lyft and Uber, both of them announced their earnings. Like last week, I think it was Wednesday night. I was looking at them. I was investing in them, so I was looking at them. But I predicted, my bad prediction, I thought it would go up because Uber has done a deal with Lucid Motors, which is owned by Saudi and PIF. So I thought that deal may give them a benefit, but all of them went down. So all the service. So I think their investments globally, wherever they've done, they are not doing good. It's not that they've invested in they made bad investments.
Right.
It's just that the investments right now are not doing good. Eventually they will pick up, and we will see them most probably ending the year with a good number and a good profit. And talking about good profits, it's earnings season, so we have to do this. Bear with us. And Lulu Retail Holdings, one of the biggest grocery retailers, I think the biggest grocery retailer in the GCC and the MENA region, they've reported a 9% increase in net earnings to $127 million. For the first half of 2025, the growth was largely driven by a 34% jump in e-commerce revenue, while overall sales rose 6% to $4 billion.
So strong performance came from the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, partially offset by weaker sales in Oman. Now, private label products also contributed to growth, and Lulu opened 7 new stores during the period. Now, the results highlight the company's continued expansion and adaptation to changing retail trends.
And online sales now account for 6% of Lulu's total revenue, reflecting the company's growing success in e-commerce. Higher margin private label products are helping to offset challenges such as declining prices and stagnant volumes in some markets, demonstrating Lulu's ability to maintain profitability in a competitive environment.
Now, despite operational gains, Lulu's share price has remained under pressure, down about 1/3 year to date. Now, the retailer declared an interim dividend of $98.4 million, consistent with its IPO policy, and kept net debt steady at $2.5 billion, signaling financial stability amid their growth initiatives.
And lastly, looking ahead, Lulu plans to open 9 additional stores by year end and further increase online penetration. Continued momentum in e-commerce and improvements in margins will be critical to sustaining growth across its core markets in the GCC. The main important point out of all of this is their e-commerce is growing, which is not a fact that anyone will be surprised by. Any big group that you see, I think Q1, Majid Al Futtaim, if you look at the whole report, their online retail was also growing. Their physical stores were not doing as great as we think they are, because you see people there. But their online retail section had, I think, 150% growth in revenue. So everyone is now going online. That's the main idea behind everyone. Whatever you're doing, put an online system in place.
You know, it is true, by the way. It actually saves money for people. I remember
It saves money for you.
It
Physical
does.
assets have to be bought or rented
And
out. Or
you know why it saves money, Imagine, for a lot of people to actually do their groceries online? It's because, okay, maybe the first time you order, you're going to struggle a bit, you know, because you don't know how the items are going to look and whatnot. But if you actually find like a stable order, you know that these are your weekly needs, and this is the same order you order every week, you're going to save money because, you know, I was even speaking to my mother, and she was like, when you actually go to the store, you're always going to want to pick up more. You know, moms are always going to want to pick up more. They see an item out of nowhere. Oh my God, they're on sale. Let me take that too, even though we don't need it. So, you know,
we'll need it after 3 months, but let's buy it right now because it's on sale.
Exactly, and let's store it in the fridge. Let's store it in the fridge. You know what, Ramadan, let's keep it here. This is literally what they do. Like, I'm not even joking, but we have sambusas. We call them sambusas. I know that you guys call them samosas. I believe, but we keep them stored for months in the fridge, Majid, for months. But beside the point, I think that what happened here, you know, the fact that they have weaker sales in Amman, I just find that interesting because, you know, we have to mention it. Majid Al Fatim is honestly a competitor of Lulu. It is, and this year, it's interesting that just as Lulu is saying that they have weaker sales in Oman, that, you know, this is the year where Majid Al Fatim took a stand. I believe that it's due to the boycott movement, and they established Hypermarket. And Hypermarket right now, it's already opened in Oman. They've opened so many stores. So, you know, could that be the reason that because people are more reliant on, you know, what was once Carrefour, not even what was once Carrefour, it's a completely new brand. And I believe it's Hypermax, actually.
Hypermax, yes.
It's Hypermax. But right now, you know, it's open in Oman, and I think that might contribute to it. But just on the topic of Lulu generally, I feel like, you know, we don't mention this enough, but last year they had the largest IPO in the UAE. I believe that the proceeds of it were over 6 billion dirhams, and
$2 billion.
They did really great, and it's like with Lulu, when you think about their story, I remember basically in 2020. I read something that there was a Abu Dhabi royal family that purchased a 20% stake in the company for $1 billion. So I think that
makes sense.
It does.
Lulu is a brand. It's a local brand, homegrown brand. Why won't you invest in it? And I think it has a bigger footprint in Abu Dhabi as well. In Dubai, I think you have to find a Lulu.
I don't find
in
a
Abu Dhabi, you
Carrefour.
find a Lulu everywhere.
You will not find a Carrefour. Like is there even one there? I'm not even sure.
I think there is. I lived on Reem Island, so there is, but it's very like limited. So Abu Dhabi is, to be honest, Lulu's playground. You can't beat them there. And there is Union Coops and other ones, like 1 or 2 here and there. But Lulu, you can't beat in Abu Dhabi.
But you know what, honestly, I don't even think it's about Lulu. I think with these businessmen that come out of Kerala, you can't beat them. They do really good for themselves. It's not just Yusuf Ali. You have Sunny Varki, the founder of Gems. You also have, I believe, that perfumer. Is his name Yusuf Bai?
Yusuf Bai.
I
He's
believe
from the south as well.
Is the founder of Philly from South? I'm not sure.
I think he is.
I actually think he is too.
I think he is.
But you really cannot beat them, you know. And also the founder of Zoho, he's also from Kerala. So all of these founders from South India, we're seeing that they're really doing great for themselves here.
Yeah, and great to hear stories from these people.
Yeah.
Yes, these are the people who actually made Dubai what it is today, to be honest.
And it's always
the labor, every little person who played a contributing part has made Dubai what it is. And there is a new startup in Dubai that we're going to talk about now. It's a prop tech startup, property technology startup, Coraly.ai. It was known as Coralytics, but then I think the founder had a change of heart and he said, let's make it smaller and sweeter. It was in the press release. They were like, oh, we've rebranded also. I was like, okay, great.
I like how they're telling people that.
Yeah. And they've secured a $2 million in a pre-seed funding round. The round was led by Salika Oryx Fund with participation from EQ2 Ventures and strategic angel investors. I love angel investors. The company provides an AI-powered platform for real estate professionals to streamline lead generation and conversion.
So the funding will be used to accelerate product development and expand Coraly.ai's AI capabilities. The company also plans to enter new markets, including Saudi Arabia, France, and the United States. I think these are very interesting choices, strengthening its footprint beyond the GCC and really positioning itself as a competitive player in the global PropTech sector.
And Coraly.ai aims to modernize real estate sales, where agents often rely on fragmented, outdated tools. By offering a united AI-driven platform, the startup seeks to increase productivity and efficiency for professionals across multiple markets, addressing long-standing challenges in lead management and client engagement.
Strategic backing from regional and international investors underscores confidence in Coraly.ai's model. So the company is leveraging this support to scale operations, enhance AI-powered solutions, and establish itself as a category leader in PropTech, starting with the GCC and their expansion.
And the startup's growth reflects the broader trend of AI adoption in real estate, emphasizing smarter sales workflows and data-driven insights. With this funding, Coraly is poised to transform the real estate market, which is already very transformed in Dubai. It is one of the biggest growing markets in the world right now.
Be honest, are you going to be using this app?
It's not for me. I'm not a real estate agent, but I saw how it works. It's very interesting. It's like just think of a property sales platform. You go, you look at a house, and it's empty, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this is the hall, this is the living area, this is the room, etc. Coraly actually helps you to put furniture in it. So you look at the place. So as a real estate professional, if you want to put up a house for sale, for rent or anything, you just upload the pictures and then let Coraly do its thing, and it'll add sofas and all that. So now you can make the place look lively, like look like a home. So it's a very nice thing. It's basically AI is helping them
re-look at. Because I feel like you try every app out, even if you don't need it. But it's just, it's interesting what concepts people are coming up with nowadays. Like, I don't think I would have thought of that. Yeah, right. And I definitely think the real estate agents will use it.
When you are in the market or you have a big circle which is in that market, you realize, okay, how do you do this? Oh, this takes this much time. And maybe someone comes and complains to you like, oh my God, this listing took me like 3 hours. And you're like, good idea, problem, I'll solve it. So that is how I think ideas come up. There's also one thing that this does, not promoting it, it's not a paid thing, we just liked it and did the story. We always try to big up the startups coming out from Dubai. Another thing that it does is, in Dubai, there was a rule at some point that you could, for example, if I own a house, I could give it to 100 agents and be like, sell. Whoever sells, he'll get the commission. Then the Dubai Land Department came up with the rule that only one house can have 4 listings. So you can now only give it to 4 platforms or 4 real estate agents. If they find a 5th one selling it, they'll put a fine on you.
That does seem fair, by the way.
Yeah, because everyone was selling the same house and it was a fight at the end of the day. So they made this rule, and now one house can only be rented out or sold by 4 agents, or those agents are working for like Property Finder or some other middleman company. So now that process takes a lot of time to just put that single house on multiple platforms, Property Finder, this, blah, 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 blah. So they've made it easier. So it's like from now a 2-hour process. It's like you press publish and it goes to all of the places. So a listing becomes easier. You can make the house look better with furniture and everything. Yes, nice startup idea.
It is. Yeah. And that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the Smashi Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels at Smashi Business and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
This has been a Smashi Business Show, a Smashi Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out to our 2.5 million monthly listeners across all platforms. You guys make it possible. If you're one of them, we appreciate you really, really, really much. Thank you. Have a great day, and we'll see you on Friday.